Now, if it rains tonight, I'll tell you a good place to go. The Dryden Theater at George Eastman House. It's one of my favorite places. It's a gem in our community. And of course, George Eastman House, known for restoring and preserving our history's greatest films, including Huckleberry Finn. With us this morning are two men who know a whole lot about it. Musician and composer Daryl Fleming is with us, and film preservation officer Anthony Labate from George Eastman House. Tonight, a fully restored and preserved version of Huckleberry Finn will be shown at Dryden Theater at 8 o'clock. Daryl, Anthony, nice to have you.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
So let's talk about this film. And I was joking with you earlier. Not joking. I said to you, I thought I was what I thought was Huckleberry Finn was really Tom Sawyer. What I saw as a kid. But this version of Huckleberry Finn is not often, or hasn't been often seen recently.
No.
In 80 years.
Well, probably in this country for 80 years. The print that we had was repatriated to us from the Danish Film Institute in the early 60s, and it's just been unavailable because it was a silent film that was from America with now Danish titles.
Oh my goodness.
So it was preserved to black and white in the early 80s when it started to decompose.
Wow.
So we had a black and white copy with Danish titles.
Sure.
And then we finally received funding from the National Film Preservation Foundation a few years back to restore the English language titles to the film and the color tinting that was in the original nitrate print.
It is amazing. Daryl, you worked on the music for this film. This is, of course, Mark Twain's most famous story, novel, Huckleberry Finn. How do you go about restoring the music for something like this? Did you know what music was there already? I mean, that was obviously, you could hear it, or no? It was silent film, so no.
There was apparently a score that was written, but it's not located.
Right.
So,
so you didn't have a lot to work with, if anything at all?
No, I didn't. Correspondence with the author proved tricky.
Gotcha. So, well, first of all, where was this film made? I mean, was this an American film, or where was this made?
It was made by Paramount Pictures, probably in part in California and part in location.
In 1920?
Along the Mississippi.
Okay, in 1920.
Yeah, it was shot in 1919, released in early 1920.
Okay, so here you have this American film. You get it from the Danish, and you get it from the Danes, and then you take out the subtitles. You literally had to just basically work from scratch almost to bring this film to life again, didn't you?
Well, what I did, we have another film in the Eastman House collection, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, from 1920, same studio, that was released a week after Huckleberry Finn was.
Wow.
So we used those titles as our template, and then we used some artwork from lobby cards to fill in what we didn't have for the original, to recreate the look of the original titles.
This is amazing stuff. I mean, we don't often see films from this time. Having said that, sometimes people will say, you know, there was talk all those years ago about, you know, the film or the story itself being not politically correct. I mean, how will you think viewers today look at this film? What do you think they will see? It was really a slice of history, right? They
will see a film that's pretty faithful to Mark Twain's novel, and with all its warts and everything. But you know, it's the time period it was made.
That's why I say it's a slice of history. You know, good or bad, it is what it is, and so it's part of our history, and it's been lovingly restored. This is so interesting because when you look back and you see this, the techniques for the films and how they were made back then, are any of those techniques still used today? I mean, the way that they, you know, the camera shots and the camera angles, I mean, is any of that, you know, done today?
Yeah, still. You know, long shot, medium shot, close-ups.
That's not what I mean. I'm talking about the way that they shoot the film and the way that they, you know, to convey emotion. Some of that is still used today. Like you said, some of those are basic shots, right?
Yeah.
Long shot, you know, that kind of thing.
And acting in silent films, slightly higher, more emotional than we're used to now, but it's still pretty valid. And it's very natural, actually, in Huckleberry Finn. It's, I think it would surprise a lot of people.
People, when they think about, you know, Eastman House, they often hear about the many films that you have preserved. It really is a treasure in our community. It's something that you have to go and see, and it's so great to be a part of something like this, isn't it, Daryl, as a musician
and a
composer.
And And to see it with live music.
Again.
Is something even more special than normal.
Okay, so it's tonight at 8 o'clock at the Dryden. Anything people need to know before they go over there? How much is admission?
It's $8.
$8.
It's reasonable, quite reasonable.
It sure is a lot cheaper than perhaps going to another theater and seeing something, a blockbuster.
And I'll have a four-piece with me, so it's not just myself. I have some excellent musicians that will accompany me. I'm looking forward to it.
That is great, and it'll be great to see, because then it'll have the panel discussion after with Jack Garner.
Yes.
Awesome. Of course, local film critic Jack Garner. Anthony and Daryl, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing this work of art back to life.